creativity and problem solving, anything that helps get active and being curious and joining your children in learning and taking advantage of not knowing answers to questions and being able to research. So, something that we always preach is, you don't have to know the answer. You just need to be able to do the research and experiment on how to get to an answer. And we know with science, sometimes we make hypotheses that are so wrong, and that's okay. We just need to be able to do that research, be curious enough to disprove our hypothesis or to prove it right. Then we have, of course, a reading and exploring. So, why? Use videos, books, apps. Of course, there's so much out there now with apps and everybody has a phone right there that they can hop on or a computer to explore that why, not just knowing something, but knowing the why behind it. And then explore your local library. I know I saw some people saying where they were from and actually looked this up here in Forsyth County. I'm not sure what county you guys are in, but they have an online library and you can rent different books straight to your phone or to your computer. Here at GCA, we have Sora where you can rent books right online to read. So find something that you're interested in. There's a lot out there about science, and pretty much we think all topics lead back to science. Encouraging questions. This is huge. So think about when you're sitting down together as a family and you're having a meal. Use that time when you have your students' attention to ask them questions about what they observe. Okay, what did you observe during your day, or what do you observe as you're sitting here? What do you see? How does it work? Why do you think, right? Anything that uses our senses, those are observations, right? Different, anything that you see or hear or smell or taste. So it's a great time to do it around the dinner table. And then encouraging high school students in science with college and career readiness. Okay. So, majorly, we see all these schools transitioning to STEM programs, study in STEM fields. We see a lot about science and how it's related with engineering, technology, and math, right? All these things come together in this STEM community. And that is where tons of our jobs are coming from. So learn about those different career options. Are you interested in biology? What kind of careers can you have if you study biology? And get that help early. So, as you guys saw, we have the tutoring program. All the teachers are offering extra help sessions with Green Period. We also have peer tutoring offered at the high school. So anything that can keep your students engaged and interested in these fields. And then helping your students to be successful in their GCA science classes. So I'm sure that most of you guys have seen this information before, but of course, attending those live classes, right? There is an abundance of information in Canvas courses, but there is nothing quite like attending a live class, right? That's where that discussion is going to come from, that interaction with teachers and with students talking about these whys that are so important in science. Turning in assignments on time, and then dedicating extra time to labs and tests. We have some great labs here at the high school and really stuff that is offered virtually that is so beneficial for students. Um, yeah, exactly. And like Mrs. Billy says, even if your student is encouraged, having them come to class and watching those recordings, right? I always say to all students, you will miss something so important in class, even if it's a catchy way to remember something. You definitely want to be there if you can. And if not, you want to watch those recordings. And then make sure you are asking, your student is asking their teachers for help. They want to hear from you, right? We have time to carve out, to dedicate to helping. And we want to hear from students and we want to know what we can do to help. What is it that we can do to support you to be successful? And is it an EOC class? So are you taking biology this year? Look for the review modules, attend those review sessions. Of course, we have EOC prep that happens with our biology students each week, and it is the best. And make sure you attend those sessions, right? The best feedback that we get is how much those EOC prep sessions can really prepare students for the EOCs. And we have some links for you. And let me see, I will get those into the chat pod as well. So if you guys want to click on them and save them, then you can. Let me see. Yes. And one more. Oh, you got it, Mrs. Billy. There we go. So I think something that can be helpful is reaching out to the science teachers to attend green periods. Um, Science has dedicated green period sessions each day, and teachers can tailor that session. So if you can let your teacher or your child's teacher know maybe what content areas and what specific things that they need help with, then they can really invite them and tailor the session to guide that area of content. No problem. Does anybody else have any questions, any cool science stuff that they want to share with us tonight? Yes. And Mrs. Billy, I think you were heading up the clubs. Do you want to take that one?
Absolutely. So currently at GCA, we have a club for robotics and coding, and that's really the most. All right, and actually, we have an astronomy club as well that is that is held by one of our science teachers. She's phenomenal. She's one of our physical science teachers, and so those are two of the clubs that we have at GCA currently this year for science. We are looking into some more science clubs next school year, and we're really excited about the opportunity for that. So just be on the lookout.
And also remember, if your student has a club and something science related or an idea that they think other students and teachers would be interested in, we love to hear that as well. And if we can get interest in that, we can find a sponsor. So if there is something that your student loves about science, we want to hear those suggestions for clubs for sure and find a sponsor so that they can have that awesome opportunity.
Thank you for that question. I'm not sure what STEM Tribe is. Can you give me a little bit more information on that? That might have been something that was around before I took over clubs. And so if you can give me some information on that, I can put my email in the chat box. There we go. I would love to hear more about that, but I personally don't know about this particular one. It was a collaboration with Ernst & Young. That's not one that I'm aware of. That's actually something I'll probably have to talk with Mrs. Gilliard about, because if it was a collaboration, it was probably more of a school-wide thing and not just at the high school. So let me find out from her and I can see.
Awesome. Well, if you guys have any other questions, definitely let us know.
Hi, this is Terry. I'm grabbing the mic if that's okay. I wanted to ask because my student is taking biology, but she's also an eighth grader. So eighth grade is just this like monstrous time for milestones because you have the full end of grade testing as well as the EOC. Um, can you talk a little bit about when the EOC prep happens, and will that at all conflict with the other prep she's going to need for the rest of her end of grade tests?
Absolutely, yes. So EOC prep for biology actually occurs during their live content sessions. And those are they do a weekly EOC prep on Fridays. And so when she goes to class on Friday, those live sessions are her EOC prep. And then hopefully during the end of the day, during that last period of the day, I think in middle school, there's a different name for it, but in high school we call it the green period because the paper that we got the schedule on had it highlighted in green. And so it's been called green period ever since. But it's that period at the end of the day that goes from about 2:45 to 3:30. And beginning in hopefully a couple of weeks on Tuesdays, which is our science priority day, will be, I love green period, yay. So hopefully during that green period time on Tuesdays, we'll have a separate EOC session just to help students prepare for the EOC and for their tests at the end of the school year. And so those will be the times. And so there should not be any conflict with her other classes because of that. Thanks for asking. That's a really good question. We try to make sure that there isn't a lot of overlap and that students don't have conflicts like that so that they can get the best from all of their teachers and they are prepared fully for their exams at the end of the year. All right, great. Well, again, thank you all so much. If you have students in other grades and need to pop into the rooms for those, you are feel free to do so. We will hang out in here for a little bit if you have any additional questions.
Thank you all very much.